All right, today is February 6th, 2024. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room, and this is tonight's free room webinar. And tonight we're going to talk about generate account growth, trading the flags before the breakouts. All right, so let me see if I can get this going. We got the recorder going. That's looking good. Good evening, Anetra. Nice to see you. New name here. I like to see the new names. All right, let me get my PowerPoint up. There we go. All right, this is looking good. This is looking good. All right, let's go down to the next slide. And for some reason, I didn't do that. That didn't work. All right, let's try it again. Two. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm supposed to come over here. All right. So again, my name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading. You can email me at john@byobtrading.com. Also have my own YouTube channel, and you can see there would be the address right there on the screen if you want to copy that down. Or if you want to email me, I will send you a copy of this PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so I want to thank you all for being here. I believe your time is valuable. This webinar is being recorded. It will likely be on my YouTube channel. All right, this PowerPoint presentation is available. Just email me, and there's my email address again at the bottom. All right, before we get started, let's start off with a disclaimer. Trading and investing involves significant risk. It's not suitable for everyone. All right. I do a lot of day trading. All right. And I understand a lot of people's, stomachs are not able to handle that. And maybe sometimes slowing down a little bit, doing a little swing trading might be more comfortable for a lot of people. So again, no communication from any of us here at Hit and Run Candlesticks, BYOB Right Way Option is considered financial or trading advice. All right, we're just sharing what we do with you and how we are successful in the markets. Okay, all of this information from Hit and Run Candlesticks and its affiliates is intended for educational purposes only. You are advised by us to test any new approach prior to implementing it. And again, past performance does not guarantee future results. So that's the long version of saying do your own due diligence. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so first of all, I am a day trader. I like trading the 10-minute chart. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are swing traders. So a lot of this is a little bit geared towards swing trading because I do some swing trading as well. All right, so I like to trade the 10-minute chart. And my two moving averages on the 10-minute chart are the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA. When I see the 3 cross over on top of the 8 EMA and it's up over VWAP, that'd be a volume weighted average price, and I see price begin to run away from VWAP, I like to go long on whatever product that I'm trading when I see that. The same thing goes when it's short. When I see the 3 cross down under the 8 EMA, that'd be the faster one is the 3. Okay, when it crosses down underneath the 8 EMA and begins to slide down and away from VWAP, that's when I like to go short or buy puts on products. Okay, so I'm a 10-minute trader. That's my favorite trade. That's my flagship trade. I don't own it, but in the BYOB trading room, that's mostly what I take in that room. I look for a 10-minute trend running away from VWAP, either to the upside or to the downside. All right, I like managing my 10-minute trade on a 15-minute chart. Okay, so once I enter and I got 2 or 3 candles out of the way, all right, Then I like to flip to the 15-minute chart, and I wait for the 3 EMA to cross back over the 8. That kind of takes my emotion out of it. Oh, gee, I think I've gone too far, or I should take some profit here, okay? So I like to manage on the 15. That way I can try to stay in just a little bit longer. The 15 allows me to stay in just a little bit longer than the 10. Sometimes you'll get instances where the 10 will cross under the 3 will cross under the 8 on the 10-minute chart, but if you look at it on the 15, it still has not crossed. There's still a good chunk of the day left, and at that point, I like to manage on the 15. That way I don't get that cross that trips me out of the trade while the 10-minute trend is pulling back just a little bit, but the 15 hasn't quite crossed, and then it shoots off to make another new high for the day. So again, I like to enter on the 10, manage on the 15. That's my preferable way. Okay, I like trading SPY options. I like trading SPY options because they have them that expire every day. All right, they're highly liquid. I like trading mostly the Friday options. All right. I like the Friday options because there's more liquidity and there's more interest, open interest in the Friday options. Okay, I prefer to trade directional in the money calls and puts with over $1 in the money. All right, calls and puts that expire on Friday because there's usually more open interest. All right, the more open interest translates into tighter bid-ask spreads most times, okay? So what we get is instead of there being 20 and 30 cents between the bid and the ask, it tends to run a little bit tighter, like sometimes 2 to 10 cents instead of 20 to 30 cents between bid and ask. And that allows me to get in, slip and slip out very easily, and I'm able to make profits because the bid and the ask is tighter that way. So I like the more open interest, the better. Now, when I swing trade, I like to see over 500 in open interest. Usually, if it doesn't have 500, I tend not to trade it. All right. So that's when I do my swing trades. Okay. I like the 3 EMA. Okay. Crossing over or under the 8 EMA on a 10-minute chart. All right, I like to trade in the direction of the market. So I like to look at which direction the market is moving. If you don't know which direction the market is moving, plant your anchored VWAP onto something and see if price action is moving away from that line and moving up and over it, if it's moving away to the north side or if it's moving away to the south side. All right, that tells me is money coming in today or is money going out of the market. All right, if money's coming into the market, price action will run away and to the north into higher prices for the market. And if it's money's coming out of the market, then price tends to move into the lower numbers. All right. My success is dependent, 110% dependent on my ability to follow my own rules. All right. If you don't have a trading plan, I urge you to write one. If you don't measure your success, it's going to be hard to define or fix what's wrong with your trading. So again, trading plan and tracking your trades is very important. All right. All right. So this webinar was we were going to talk about how to generate account growth through trading flags. Okay. So let's talk about why do flags form. Okay. All right. So let's just talk about the bull flag for instance. Okay. Okay. Price has reached a location where an equal volume of buyers and sellers agree to exit part or all of their position, or add to their position, or start a position. All right, so you've got sellers, all right, that are ready to exit part or all of their position, and then you've also got some buyers that wish to add or start a position at the same location. So you've got equal numbers of buyers and sellers, and they tend to consolidate price in that location. So that's why a flag forms. Flags typically form under, right underneath resistance because they're struggling to break through it. That'd be a bull flag. Bear flags tend to form right on top of support because they're struggling to break through it, the support levels. So whenever you see a flag form, then that will identify either support or resistance. If it's a bull flag, it should identify the resistance overhead, and if it's a bear flag, it will identify the support that's underneath it that's preventing price from going down. So if support would be in the form of many buyers thinking that this price is a good buy at this location, and then again it might be just short sellers exiting their position at a location where there was multiple buyers before. So you ask yourself, which flags should I trade? Okay, I like to trade. Let me go back to this for just a second. Okay, make sure I'm not missing any questions. I like to trade, all right, the bull flags that form and remain in zone 4 of my quad tool. Okay? I like to trade the bull flags that form and remain in zone 4 of my quad tool. Stefan, you can only see the text. Could you refresh? Can anybody else hear me? All right. Jim, you too? Good to see you, Jim. No charts yet. Just text. Just text. That's all I got. Text right now. All right. Thomas can hear and see me. Good to see you, Thomas. Trader X. Yep. Okay. The good news is this is going to be recorded. Okay. So if you had to refresh, you're going to get a recording. Okay. Somebody Skype in somebody else. Okay, so let's go to the next one. All right, so where is zone 4 of my quad tool? Okay, so this is my quad tool. Okay, this is this right here. This dotted line, that's the midpoint, the 50-yard line, half court, midfield. All right, that's the middle. That's the 50-yard line, the 50% mark. Okay, first quadrant is 0 to 25%. Second quadrant is 26% to 50%. Third quadrant, 51% to 75%. Okay, quadrant 4, 76% all the way up to 100%. Okay, so 50% is the midpoint. That's the dash line. Quadrant 1. All right, so when I'm speaking about bullish flags, I'm talking about quadrant 4. If I'm speaking about bearish flags, I'm talking about quadrant 1 or zone 1. All right, so I like to see, let's go back up. I like to trade the bull flags that form and remain in zone 4. Okay, where's zone 4? It's the top quadrant, the one with the highest number attached to it. Okay, you look over to the right, this is 250, 230, 210. All right, this is 270. Okay, so that's quadrant 4. That's the highest number. Okay, so that's where quadrant 4 is. All right, How do I find zone 4? You got to use your quad tool, all right? Or you can use a Fibonacci tool, all right? You can use one of the two, and I measure from the beginning of the move, from the very bottom to the top of the move, all right? All right? If it's from the top and you go down to the bottom of the move, it's from the bottom all the way up to the top, all right? Now, if you don't have a quad tool, you can simply do the math. I'm going to tell you, I used to do it that way. All right, but I'm just saying, if you have a quad tool, it's a nice thing to have. If you have a Fibonacci tool, you can rewrite it to measure off 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. All right, your Fibonacci tools can sometimes be, how do I say it, edited, so that you can make it usable as a quad tool as well. All right, so here we are. Here's a chart of the IYT. This is the transports. All right, if you don't know what that is, it's a sector ETF, and it's the Dow Jones Transportation. So you notice, where do I measure? From the bottom to the top. Okay, from the bottom all the way to the top. Now, if price remains in here, see, this is the upper quadrant, quadrant 4. That's what I like to see. All right, that would be a good stock. Price remains in the upper quadrant, in quadrant 4, it's very likely to have a breakout to the upside. If it pulls back to the midpoint, it still may have a breakout to the upside. But I like them best when they remain and consolidate up in the upper quadrant, up in quadrant 4. All right, so you see this, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, and then 4. See, that moves up, consolidates in quadrant 4. And look at that. We're getting a breakout today. Okay, so here's another one. Here's NVIDIA. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, and 4. Notice, here's the bottom of the move to the top of the move. Where does it consolidate? In quadrant 4. See that? It stays and remains, for the most part. You got a couple days here that kind of spiked the quadrant 4 line. You see that? And here. But for the most part, it remains in quadrant 4. Okay? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so here's another one. All right? This is the SMH. From the bottom all the way to the top. Now imagine, like, all of this area. Let me box it off. Okay? From here. That didn't work, did it? Anyways, anything on the other side of this blue line, ignore it. Act like it didn't happen. This is history. We're going back in time. Consolidates in quadrant 4. You get the picture. It breaks out. All right? That's the SMH. See that? It goes up. I like how it stays up in quadrant 4. Those are the charts that I like to trade. The ones that rise up and stay in quadrant 4. And they consolidate up there. That's what I'm looking for. Trash that. Go on to the next one. All right. Here's another one. This is the XLF. From the bottom to the top. Notice it consolidates up in quadrant 4. XLF. And breaks out to new highs. Let's go to another one. SPY. Comes up, consolidates in quadrant 4, breaks out to new highs. ALT, watch this one. Comes up, consolidates for the most part in quadrant 4, and notice that this one that remains up in quadrant 4, this one rewarded you with a beautiful measured move. In other words, from the bottom to the top. And what did you get? You got rewarded with another move from the equal distance from the bottom to the top all the way up. ALT. Okay, notice that? You got rewarded because it stayed up in quadrant 4, rewarded you with a move twice as high. It's a beautiful measured move right there. Comes up, consolidates in quadrant 4, and then blasts off to give you another move that winds up being twice as high as the first move. See that? Pretty cool, huh? All right. Here's another one. Bull flag remains in quadrant 4, UNH. All right. And what does it do? Consolidates in quadrant 4, another one that rewards you. Now you had a spike out here. It's a weekly chart, but you had a spike out there. Notice it reversed immediately with a measured move up to here. So there's UNH, another one from the bottom to the top, consolidates in quadrant 4, and then rips and gives you the measured move. Start the next one, okay? Now, from the bottom to the top, I'm just letting you know right now. See this? Consolidating in quadrant 4. This is the current day. We just did this one over here. That was from right here to, well, down there, this area of time. Now we're in this area of time right here from the bottom all the way up to the top, consolidating in quadrant 4. That looks good. This could go off to go to, what is it? 1,000. It's at 500. Well, it could go off to 800, right? Because it's at 300 or 200 here, and it moved up $300. So this could go off to like maybe $750, $800. That beautiful measured move, again, twice as high. We'll see what happens. It's consolidating in quadrant 4. Everything's looking good. All right. ALT. Now, we looked at this one earlier. Now look at this one. This is the current state of ALT, excuse me. All right. Notice it's not able to stay in quadrant 4. Okay. We don't want this one. See that? It's not able to remain in quadrant 4. We don't want it. All right. We want something different. Okay. This might still work out, but we want to find the ones that consolidate up in quadrant 4. Those are the ones that we want. We don't want the ones that get shaken out and spend a couple weeks not in quadrant 4. Okay. So we want the ones that remain and consolidate. You see those ones that remained and consolidated? What did they reward us with? A move to the upside. See, what did this one do? It gave us a move to the downside. We don't want this one. Okay, so where should I enter long on a bull flag? Okay, there's a good question, right? All right, so here it is. I like to enter long just over the flag support. Okay, i.e., for example, where zone 1 transitions into zone 2 using my quad tool. Now, that sounds a little bit different, doesn't it? Zone 1, well, John, that's way down at the bottom. Okay, no, we're just going to use the quad tool on the flag. Okay, we're just going to use the quad tool from the beginning of the flag to the present date and time. Okay, so here's the flag. All right, remember we saw IYT earlier. It was way down here. Okay, now we're just going to use the quad tool on the flag. All right, so what do I look for? I like to buy a green candle as it crosses out of zone 1 into zone 2. Any green candle, all right? I'm looking for any green candle, preferably with a 10-minute uptrend, but I like any green candle that jumps out of zone 1 and is jumping into zone 2. In other words, if it's crossing this line right here, okay, that's what I like to buy. Now, if you'd have bought this green candle, could you have made money on IYT? I would hope that the answer would be yes. Okay, now if you bought this green candle, you had to sit through this pullback. But you notice that pullback was not that painful, okay? Because you bought here, or you bought here, or you bought here. So you might have bought maybe at 255, 254, okay? And you had to sit back and have it pull back to 251. That's not too bad. As long as it stays in quadrant 4, when we measure the whole move, it still looks good to me. That's what I like. So as they move from transition from quadrant 1 into quadrant 2, that's when I like to buy them on a green candle. Okay? And it's the same thing with the bear flag. All right? When they transition from quadrant 4 into quadrant 3 with a red candle, that's when I want to sell them. Okay, that's where I want to enter my bear flags. All right, on my bull flags, when they transition, all right, when price transitions from quadrant 1 into quadrant 2, that's when I want, on a green candle, that's when I want to go long. Right through there. Okay, here's NVIDIA. All right. It's another one. See it consolidate in the flag. Started in July. Went all the way to December. Okay. Now, if you'd have bought any of these green candles as price transitioned out of quadrant 1 into quadrant 2, you had an opportunity to make some money until the 3 crossed back over the 8. And then you could get out. Here's another one. You're out, you're in right there, and then you can get out up here, or you can hold as long as it holds over the midpoint right up there. And you can see you're rewarded with a move to the upside, a major move to the upside. Wow, that's a good one. Now notice how price action consolidated right underneath the number. And look at the number, $500, okay? Those big fat round numbers will tend to hold price underneath them. People psychologically like to take profit at $100, $200, $300, $50, okay? $500. So there were a lot of sellers up there at $500. Okay, so that was resistance. All right, so you can see price banging its head on the $500 resistance sellers up there. Okay, so it had to stay there and consolidate for 6 months before it finally got to break out. So there's NVIDIA. So I like to buy, like I said, the green candles coming out of quadrant 1 into quadrant 2. Okay, I like to see price action, my 10-minute trend, run away from VWAP and anchored VWAP, or, as I was saying earlier. All right, now I'm going to take some questions before I start talking about all my good trades that I take and share with everybody in the room. So I'm going to take some questions in the room. And that's how I generate profits, through trading the bull flags. Now we're currently in a bull flag. Oh, I see some questions. Okay, all right. Where did I put my risk stop? At the bottom of that, right below the bottom text. On a flag like that, you can just put it right at the bottom of the flag. Right below, quadrant 1, right below quadrant 1. Is there a minimum dollar range from low to high which makes zones meaningful or otherwise too small? I haven't explored that, Chris. So it doesn't mean that there is or there isn't. I hope that answers your question, but I don't know of one. I'm a minimalist, simplistic, dumb it down, just as easy as you can make it. For me, I want quadrant 4, and then I measure off quadrant 4 with my quad tool. And from there, I like to buy the green candle when the price action's coming out of zone 1 of the flag into zone 2. I like to just keep it just as simple as I can. Okay. Trader X has got a graph. Meta, yeah. Meta is giving you a nice reward there. Let's take a look at that. Let me just flick my chart up here for a minute. All right. If you have a Fibonacci tool and you don't have a quad tool, notice you can edit this. Well, at least mine, you can edit it. All right. Now notice I can change it to, if I wanted to change that to 25%, watch this. I can change it to 25. If I don't want the 38.2, I can uncheck it. I can keep the 50. I can remove the 618. All right. Or I can keep the 618 and change it to a 7.5. See how I can do that? Now I've got a 25, a 50, a 75, and a 100. So now I can take that, and now I've just requisitioned my Fibonacci tool right into a quad tool, just like that. Okay, and if you like those back on there, okay, you can, getting a little stubborn there for me. Let's say you like the 234. Let's say you like the 38. You've got some others down here. You can change the 161.8 to 25. And now you notice you've got both of them. And you can change the 2618, okay, into the 7.5. All right. Now you notice you've got the 7.5, the 50, the 234, and the 2.5. So you can edit this to whatever you want it to be. And that's using your Fibonacci tool to do the same thing that the quad tool does. Okay, for a quad tool, I simply take my tool, put it here, and then drag it, okay, from the bottom to the top. That's all I do. Okay, it's that simple. Here's the 50-yard line. Here's zone 4. This is zone 3. This is zone 2. This is zone 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I like them when they consolidate in zone 4. You can see the rip right there. All right. Now you want to take a look at Meta. Yeah, nice move on Meta. Let's take the quad tool and Meta from the bottom to the top. Just going to show you what I do. Okay. Notice Meta right here consolidates in quadrant 4. And what do you get? You get a nice rip to the upside. And you want to see if that's a measured move. You can just take it from here down to the bottom. Duplicate it. And stack it right on top. So the measured move for that one is going to be about 583. It's getting a little climactic here, but it's got some room to run. All right, so there's a measured move for Meta if it does produce one. But I mean, geez, if you got any one of these quadrants, any one of these down here. Now, where would I have entered on Meta? Let's just do this the same way that I do it. Okay, you come into the flag, you drill down. All right. Any of these green candles coming out of zone 1. All right. Notice this one gapped up and ran. This one never got down to zone 1. Here's one right here that got you out. Okay. Any of these green candles. All right. That take you out from zone 1 back into zone 2. That's where I like to enter. Nice chart, by the way, whoever shared that. Way to go. Trader X, like that. How do I scan for these? With my eyes, James. I look for bullish charts. Anything making new highs is probably likely going to run into some resistance. So you can pull up a scanner. I think Ed, if you don't have a scanner, Ed Carter will rent you a scanner, okay? And that'll find anything making new highs. Look for something that's making new all-time highs. Anything like that. All right? Something that's at an all-time high or is in an uptrend that just went into consolidation. All right? Yeah, as I come out of quadrant 1 into quadrant 2, any green candle coming out of quadrant 1 into quadrant 2, that's what I like. I buy the bottom of the flag as long as it's consolidating and up in quadrant 4. Yeah. So the risk, your risk is only the bottom right here. You only have this much risk. Very little risk down here. A lot of risk up there when it comes back to here. Very little risk when you're buying right here. You only have one zone, one quadrant zone to worry about. SPY 410, 497, 4 zones. You want to see it, Starley. All right. All right. SPY already did the quadrant 4 breakout right there. But I mean, it's up. You're up against $500, that $500 number. Don't be surprised to see that consolidate up there between 480 or 450 and 500 for maybe 12 months. Okay, but that's where it's at now. I'll pull this down so you can see it. See, we're almost at 500 right there. Okay, the 4 zones. Now, you notice the 25% mark is 475. Basically right there. All right. Tony says, so price is consolidating in the last, bullish consolidation in quadrant 4, right. And then I take a second quadrant line, that's right. And I measure off the consolidation. Okay, I do my same tool again. I measure off the consolidation. Right through there. And I'm looking for green candles coming out of zone 1 into zone 2. Yeah. Could you please demonstrate 4 quadrants for Amazon? Absolutely. Hey, Carol, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, so this is a daily chart of Amazon. You know, you haven't really got a flag yet forming on Amazon. You did right through here. Okay, you had some consolidation, and then we came back and tested this support back here. Okay, so we consolidated, and then we came back to test minor support, and you can see where minor support held. If I take this right through there, you can see the tops. That would be minor support. Price action came back to minor support, this area back here, and then held, and now we're coming back up to this area right through here. So we haven't consolidated yet on Amazon, so there's nothing really to pick off at this time. And we did have a move from here up to there. Okay, it was some really sloppy consolidation. But I do see something that I really like, and that's this move up to there. Okay, so I'm just going to go measure that off so you can see that. All right, I'm going to do that for you. Squeeze this in. Okay. From the bottom to the top, Carol, see that? Stays up in quadrant 4. And then stayed up there like almost all of November and part of December for probably about 35, 40 days. And then you had a breakout. And then it came back and it tested this consolidation. And then it ripped for some more. All right. See the consolidation staying in quadrant 4. All right. If you'd have bought the bottom down here. All right. If you'd have taken this, squeezed it together, and then drag this over. Anything coming off the bottom down here, you could have got the breakout for that one. Okay, James says thanks. Carol, Amazon versus, you want to see Walmart? Walmart's not really consolidating yet. There's not much that I can measure. It's all kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. It's not smooth. All right. This is pretty smooth right through here. Okay, right through there. But there's nothing smooth for consolidation to measure. Now, when it gets up to 200, that's when it will probably create a nice clean flag up there when it gets up to 200. You're at 169 now. I can see this easily going up to 200. Not going to say it's going to happen, but I'm just saying I can easily see that happening. You're in a nice uptrend. Notice this is diagonal support. Every time price comes back to it, it runs off and makes a new high. See that? Runs off, tries to make a new high, comes back, checks support, and now it makes the new high. Keeps riding up and riding up. Amazon's already in a nice trend. It's not flagging out yet. AMD. AMD didn't have one, Starly. It did have this one, but it pulled back to kind of like the midpoint on AMD. I'm going to smack that one in there for you so you can see it. See that? See how it went up, but it pulled back to the midpoint? This AMD, if you notice this, I was looking at it earlier. Okay, you watch AMD, and I say this all the time. Watch for those stocks that pull back and hit minor support and then rip off to new highs. Okay, so you look, you take a horizontal line, and you notice it goes up, pulls back to minor support, rips to a new high. Okay, then it does, guess what? It does the same thing. It does the same thing again. After ripping off to a new high, comes back, hits minor support, rips off to a new high. Okay, then pulls back, does the same thing all over again. It's just like a sequence. Pulls back to minor support, right there, and then rips off to a new high. And then even while it's ripping off to new highs, see the move up? It comes back and hits minor support again, right there. See that? Comes back, hits these wicks up here, or these bearish reversals, and then rips to a new high. And then it does the same thing again. Look at this. Right there. Comes up, pulls back, hits minor resistance, minor support, and then rips off to a new high, just like that. Now, look at this, pulls back. Where's the minor support? Right over here. Okay? I'll bet that lines up with this tail that comes down right there. Oh, look at that. See that? Rips up, pulls back, minor support, and who knows? It probably bull flag here and then rip off to new highs. You see that one, Starley? This has been a sequence of pulling back to minor support and then rip to new highs. Pull back, hits minor support, rip, new highs. You know, pulls back, hits minor support, rips to new highs, pulls back, hits support. Again, the wicks in the sky, and then rips to new highs. This is what I like to see in a bullish trend. Rip to new highs after hitting minor support. Because when major support fails, the trend is done. And when if major support fails to hold price up, it's over. We have a trend change. Okay? How do we know? Look at UNG. All right? So here's UNG. Here's the higher low. There's the higher high. They were trying to hold on to this, and they got below it today. That's a trend change now. Now, you could say it was in a downtrend through here, yes, but it was trying to hang on to this uptrend because you got a lower high. You got a higher low, and you got the higher high. And it pulled back all the way back to here, and now you got a trend change. So this is in a downtrend now. It had to break this first in order to be in a downtrend. Otherwise, this uptrend could still survive. But it didn't. It didn't survive. You can have a downtrend in an uptrend. It's called a pullback. All right? So there's UNG. There's one that failed. Let's take a look at silver. Silver did the same thing. Okay? Silver made a higher low, makes a higher high. See, there's the last high, makes a higher high. Then makes another higher low, fails to make the higher high. And what do you got? The inverse head and shoulders. Well, not the inverse. The regular head and shoulders. Okay? Okay, so now we came down here, and guess what we did? We made a lower low. This uptrend is broken now. Okay, so now we're in a downtrend on silver. And there's your downtrend line. Notice it comes back to diagonal resistance, runs off and makes a lower low. Comes back to diagonal resistance, and it's heading down to try to make a lower low. I don't think it will do it, but it might do it. You know, if the dollar keeps ripping like it is, it's a possibility. See, here's the dollar was up there. We broke through the flat 200 right there. You know, stronger dollar is going to cause silver to come down. All right. Is M a setup right now? M. Macy's. Oh, I like that. That's a nice chart. Oh, that very well could be. That's looking good. Let's take it from the bottom to the top. Okay, it's not the one that I like. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not the one that I like. I like them when they stay up in quadrant 4. Now this is a bull flag pullback right there. When they do that, there's nothing wrong with this flag. You know, it's a move up and then a move back like this. That's a nice bull flag. And then you see them rip like this. Okay? So watch SPY. Watch SPY on the 15. Okay? So notice we got to move up here on SPY. So we got to move up, and then we got to move back Or let me trash that. Here's a move up and then a move back, and we could rip out. We'll see what happens. I think SPY definitely wants to poke 500 at least before leaving the area. We'll see what happens. It's just, again, it's just what I think. So back to M. All right, we're going to hit it on the daily chart. It's a nice move up. All right, probably needs to consolidate. It's done it now for about a month. You know, you've got an inverse head and shoulders building out there. Can you see that, Trader X? You've got a head here, a left shoulder, and a right shoulder forming right here. Watch for that neckline break right through here. Okay, watch for that neckline breakthrough there. And you get that. I think it comes back up here and consolidates. It resumes its consolidation through here. All right. You're welcome, Carol. Can I analyze Apple? Yes. Now, Apple doesn't have a clean flag. All right. We're talking about flags today, but there's nothing wrong with Apple. We came out. Now we're back up here. Consolidating in quadrant 4. I like that. Okay. I would go long on that if it came back down into quadrant 1. I would like that if this gave me an opportunity, a green candle coming out of this area right here. And you can slap 2 lines in here. I'll put one in for you. One there. And one there. So anything in this zone right here, a green candle coming out of that zone, I would like that long. Notice it's pulling back to minor support. See the wicks? If you slid this price action together, you got a big wick in the sky. This is a pullback to minor support. And notice it's bouncing off of that minor support right there. Okay, so let's go back there. All right, Jim, basically you're looking double or triple bottoms in the quad. I'm not looking for them. I'm just find a clean flag, Jim, and then I slap my quad lines on that flag. You know, it may turn out to be a double, triple bottom, might be quadruple or quintuple bottom, but I'm looking for price action that holds that upper quadrant 4, and I want to buy when it's coming out of zone 1 into zone 2. That's it, really. I'm not looking for the double, triple bottoms, but they'll sometimes happen in those bull flags that that hang out in quadrant 4 for that amount of time. The more time you hang out there, the more likely you are to have a double, triple bottom. You know, Apple's been here since June. Think about it. You know, it's been up here, coming in and out. It's been in here since June. And imagine once they get some good news coming out, you know, they'll have more sales to talk about, and you'll see them take off again. Do I look for these on a 1 year or 1 day chart? I look for them on all time frames, Anetra. I look for them on all time frames. Even on my 10 minutes, I look for them. Yes, I use this for day trading as well. Price action stays in the upper quadrant. That's bullish to me all the time. Yes. Walmart is splitting. I don't know. I don't read the news like to know. I'm not sure. and it's possible that it is. I can look through right here, and they have, here, I'm going to place this in there for you. I don't know if Walmart's in the NASDAQ. I think it is. Like to know. All right. But pull that up and you'll see splits right there. And go on to stock splits and see if you can find out if Walmart's in there. You might find it right in there. I don't see it on this. Doesn't mean that it's not happening. This is for Walmart, quantitative. I don't see anything that says splits yet. All right. Okay, there it is. Walmart on February 4th, stock is splitting. World's largest retailer surprised investors on Tuesday by announcing for a 3-to-1 stock split. There you go. Oh, Ed beat me to it. Way to go, Ed. Thanks. James wants me to look at AAL. Certainly. That looks like a bear flag to me, but, you know, down, up, and then usually you see another leg down, but I don't know if AAL is going to get lower than $11. It could happen, you know, with splits and reverse splits. It's in an uptrend right now, James. That's all I can say. I don't see any consolidation. Okay, it's nothing going on there that says consolidation. We do have higher lows. You got a double bottom here, and you made a higher high. Okay, so this is still in an uptrend in my eyes. That's still looking good. Do I look for these on the 1 day or the one day chart? Yes, I look for them on all time frame. Could you use this for day trading? Yes, Stefan, I do. BA bearish flag. Yes, that is a bearish flag. But you are on minor support, major support, okay? If you break that major support, you're probably coming down to test this low. Okay? You notice on this rise up, who has that? Tony? You notice they didn't put in any consolidation. See, that's what you have to worry about. When you see a stock rise up like that without putting in any consolidation at all it takes is one door to fly off the plane, and the next thing you know, you're right back where you started. Right? You don't put in any consolidation. So the only consolidation they had was this that was over here. Okay, and they went all the way back to major support right there. See all these tails that stick down? Those are the right there. That's the major support right there. So okay, and Trader X URI daily. Daily chart. That's a nice bull flag right there. Okay, quad lines in. You're up in the upper quadrant. This is looking good. This is looking good. Let's go see what it did from here to there. Let's just slide this over. Come on, machine worker. See how this one did a breakout too. You might have a measure move coming there. See, from the low to the top, consolidating quadrant 4. Nice one, Trader X. Notice the reward. See the reward right there? Consolidation up in quadrant 4. You're rewarded nicely when you can get them to consolidate up in quadrant 4. So don't be afraid to be picky, okay, traders? All right? It's your money, all right? You spend it where you want to. Don't be afraid to be picky. Hey, you can't perform the way exactly what you want, you know. If that landscaper's not doing exactly what you want, there's plenty of landscapers out there, right? Okay, if that restaurant doesn't serve what you like to eat, there's plenty of restaurants out there. That's what I'm saying. Don't be afraid to be picky. It's your money. Make it perform. And if it doesn't, then you can pass. All right? You know, Cheetos makes a healthy diet sometimes. How much of that is seasonal, Stefan? On which one, Stefan? UNG? Well, we're in the cold months right now. So, really, we're just dealing with... there was a global crisis where there was a lack of energy, and then we got abundance of energy, and what we got is the pendulum swings. Okay? We had a moment where Ukraine, all right, didn't have any energy, and Europe needed energy because the Russian country shut off, and we had a demand. And what you got now is a pendulum swing. It went all the way up high. Well, now this is the swing back. Okay, see what happened? You know, Europe needed natural gas, so there was a huge demand, and now they've rectified the problem, so now it swings all the way back. It's less seasonal, it's more pendulum oriented, and that's because of what happened with global events. And eventually this will shake off, and it will return back to normal. It's probably creating the head of a possible head and shoulders of a inverse head and shoulders of a bigger move. That's what I suspect. Doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen, though. All right. Trader X shares DPZ. Yeah, I like DPZ. I like that. Making higher highs. I like that a lot. I don't know if you had a question in there, but I do like DPZ. All right. From this low to this high, you are in quadrant 4. I like that. I like to see it consolidate there and then rip to new highs. Carol says Apple. I think I already did Apple. Yeah, Apple's just not getting it done. No, there's nothing smooth about that. The only thing I see that's smooth is, is this move up. All right, and then a move back, and then I see another move up coming for Apple. But, as soon as they get out of their the manufacturing of chips and stuff, there's nothing smooth up here yet. It's a move back, and I expect it to move up. You got a triple bottom here, so it's just going to take some time. Just visualization, William. That's it. I'm just looking for things that stay in between the lines. That's it. I'm not doing anything special. I just use my eyes. Does it stay between the lines? See, it didn't stay between the lines. I don't want it. Now, if it's going to hang out up here, now, okay, now you got my interest. Right. And URI, yeah, we talked about URI. We liked URI. Trader X. Yeah, we liked that breakout there. And we also like this consolidation in quadrant 4 there. John M. APX appears to be in a flag consolidation. Had similar consolidation. Would you expect similarly consolidation? Consultation. I think he meant consolidation. All right, AXP. All right, so you got a consolidation. You see that? There it is right there. I already had it in there. I didn't even know that. Did I do this earlier? All right, this consolidating quadrant 4, and you got the reward. I like it. Now you're doing it again. Right there, consolidating quadrant 4. Probably rip off to new highs. Let it jump around a little bit. It's up to you if you want to buy the high. I'm not a big fan of buying the high. I'm a much bigger fan of buying the pullback to minor support. See when it goes up and pulls back and hits these humps up here? I'm a big fan of buying minor support. When I see it hit minor support and I see a green candle come off of there, I like that a whole lot better than buying the highs. I just can't take a full position up there. I can only take a tenth or 2/10. I just can't do it. So it's just hard for me to buy highs like that. Measured move, yeah, this could easily make the measured move. And if we could just kind of block that off, basically down to there, and rack it up on top of there. Have to pull it down. Yeah, 233. I mean, you're already up to 206. It could spike up there. We'll see. 3 for 1. Toss is 23. 3 to 1 for Walmart. Yeah. Very long term. This is very long term. Can you adjust the fibs for any chart? How about Snap, including today? Stefan, yes, you can adjust the fibs if they allow you to. I'm just telling you that you can do it on this one right here. You just click on the white line, edit, and you can change it right there. All right? So you can do it if they allow you to edit it. I don't know what platform you got, but they should allow you to edit it if you want to. All right? If not, then you just have to do it the old-fashioned way like I did. Just draw a line in 141.23 up to 189.46. Subtract the 2, divide by 2, then divide that by 2. You come up with your quadrant lines, and there you go. You got to do it the old-fashioned way. And you got a calculator too. That works. You can use your calculator. But if you got a tool like this, it sure makes it snappy to do that when you can do that real quick like that. Your platform probably has it. And ask around. Stefan 23. Did someone say Snap? Okay. Let's take a look at Snap. Oh, Snap. Wow, who brought that up? Stefan. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's drag this over. Here we go. Quadrant 4. Right there. Okay, I measure from the bottom to the top. Hanging out in quadrant 4. Very nice. I could see that doubling. It's low enough. What is going on here? Price is at $11.75. Oh, okay, here we go. Earnings today. All right. See, that's where you want it. You want to get out before earnings, all right? Earnings is a beast. See that? You're coming all the way down to $11.75. All the way down to minor support again. So, that's a tough one to take. Almost a $5 hit right there. You guys see that? They had earnings. It's trading at $11.75 right into minor support over here. Yeah, it was looking good, Stefan, until earnings came out. And Trader X is sharing Burrow. Hey, Trader X, how are you finding these? I'm just asking. Because I'm sure there's probably a dozen other guys that want to know how you're finding them. Because you're coming up with some pretty good stuff. All right, so from the low to the top, consolidating in quadrant 4. Really nice. I would have liked to see this flag come back this way instead of straight across, but boy, is that bullish. And their earnings aren't till the 7th. That is really looking good. That looks like it's ready to break out. Then again, you just take this up here and, find a green candle. Take that 10-minute uptrend. Just drill down, find a 10-minute uptrend coming off of one of these lines right there. Oh, CJ, great. I hope you stop by the room sometime. I'm going to have an open house come February. Hope you stop by. Missed by 4 bolts. Yeah, missed by 4 bolts. Okay, Uber. Ram says Uber. Yeah, Uber's on an uptrend, not consolidating though. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint, and I'm just going to, here we go. We're going to just talk about, this right here. This is a trend day. All right, I want you to notice this. I'm going to talk about myself for a little bit. All right, this is a 10-minute uptrend. See the 3? 3 is my yellow line. The gray one is my 8. All right, right here. So you get the 3 up over the 8. Notice the 3 never crosses the 8 for the whole day. All right, this is a trend day. And we've got a little schematic to help you identify these. And, if you write me for it or snap a photo while you're here, you'll get to see it. But anyways, we look for the 3, the 8, and the price to stay up over VWAP between 11 and noon. And there's a good chance, 9 times out of 10, it's going to stay like that till the end of the day. In other words, the 3 is never going to cross over the 8 unless it gets climactic. All right? If it gets climactic, then the deal's off. But this never got climactic. Okay, so that's what we trade. So you can picture if you bought an option down here, 468, let's say 460. All right, right down here, let's just call it 469, and you wrote it up to 473. That'll yield you quite a bit of money. Right, just one option, like around 400, 500 bucks. Right there. And you can see this is it's where I call them out in the day. All right, ahead of time. So you guys can get in, and you can see right here, identify right here, trend day is on, it's 12:08. All right, until we get climactic. And this happened on January 8th. Okay, here's another one. All right, and this happened on January 8th. Same thing. It's the same picture, only without my talking in there. All right, here's another one, and you can see this is me posting, how I trade this between the VWAPs. These are anchored VWAPs, and buying puts, and when to get out. All right, here's another one up here. Okay, here's my trend day identifier. You can snap a photo of that, or you can email me and you'll get a picture of it in the PowerPoint. Okay, here's another one. We just had another trend day on February 2nd. Okay, I called this one out. Notice the 3 stays up over the 8 almost to the end of the day, to the very last bit. Then we had some selling going on. So here's a trend day. We identified that, made some money on that. Okay, and here's another one. This is what we traded yesterday. You can see right here where I'm telling you I bought 10 calls, and then I bought 10 more, and then I bought 10 more calls. So I got 10 calls here and here as we came off of price support, and we sold them into these targets, VWAP, right into this resistance right there, and then into today's open. And you can see me calling out the shots time after time right through there. And this is what happened today. I said we were going to go fill the gap. So we brought puts down to fill the gap. And you can say traders were most likely looking at a range-bound day, and it just slapped back and forth all day long. Actually crossed the 8 probably about 10 times today. So I said it's probably going to be range-bound, just fish the edges. Right there. So that's me talking about myself. You can see we take trades every day in the BYOB room. So, if you ever want to come get a trial, let me just say they're only got it coming up here. And all the way to the end. $24.50. How about that? All right, then I'll take some more questions. All right, because it's getting late. It's getting about 1:15. So I'll put my chart up. I'll take a few more questions. And then I'm going to call it quits. All right, so let's see what it's there. Oh, thanks, Ed. Win has been in a nice flag. Hey, Carrie. Somebody said Uber. I think Uber reports tomorrow, so be careful on Uber. Uber's in a nice uptrend. Win, W-Y-N-N. Win's in a nice uptrend. That's a nice flag right there. Quad line's in. They have earnings again. Also, another one with earnings tomorrow, so be careful on those. Nice consolidation up in quadrant 4 for that one, Carrie. Trader X, he's got ALL. He's finding them all. All right, not on a 10-minute. All right, so wow, nice uptrend. Again, consolidating in quadrant 4. I can see it already. Yeah, and they got earnings tomorrow too. Trader X, be careful on that one. Billy says Chewy's got the daily head and shoulders. And yes, it does. Yeah, Chewy's not looking too healthy here. It's been down to the well 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. It's about to break the neckline. Nice call, Billy. Like that one. Thanks, Julie. As always, Mel, could I LVS? Good to see you, Mel. You got an inverse head and shoulders there. Right across that neckline right there. And Las Vegas Sands, you're in kind of a bear flag, really, Mel, on that one. And this is what I see so far is down and kind of pulls back, and then you look for that downside. Again, we'll see what happens. This may be a bottom since October. That's possible. We'll see what happens. But let's just drag the quad lines out, see what we got. So I'm going to take that off. And from the bottom to the top, right there. Yeah, not quite consolidating in quadrant 4. If it was a bearish setup, so I prefer them to just consolidate in quadrant 4, in quadrant 1 for the bearish setup. For the bullish, yeah, I'm not seeing much going on. I do like the higher low here and the run up to make that higher high. So this looks bullish with this inverse head and shoulders to me, Mel. I like that. I'd look for that breakout. I think it's coming. It's coming to you soon. And you don't have earnings till the 17th. Cecile, you had a slide that detailed what becomes a 10 9 to 10. Yes, Cecile, yes. I can pop that up there. And F5. And watch this. Boom, 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 boom. And coming up right there. All right. That's in the room, Cecile. You're a member. That's available to you. Okay? You know that, Cecile? That's available to you. You just go in the room, all right, and under files, you go to images in my room and you'll find it in there. All right? You'll see it. When you go to the room, you'll see it right in there. You're a member. I know you can see that. What I consider SPY to be consolidating. Quadrant 4. Yeah, it is right there. From this low right there. Yes, it is consolidating in quadrant 4. Yes. Elmo, thank you. ALL for a flag. I think I did that. Yes, it is a flag, but you got earnings tomorrow, so be careful. BAH. That's nice. Yeah, that's consolidating. I can see that already. Quadrant 4, like that. Billy, thank you, Billy, for being here. Bro's in an uptrend, consolidating in a flag, yes. And let's get the quad lines. Yep, I like Bro. Brown and brown. That looks good. Thanks, Ed. Thank you. SPY support for tomorrow. For tomorrow, it's right now. It's right here. See the top of that shelf right there? All right. This actually should hold 492.26. All right. But if we break down, it's right here, 491.46. All right. If we break through 491.46, probably coming down here to 488. Okay. There. Thanks, Centauri. All right, traders, that's it. Thanks for being here. I'm going to call it a night. Don's got one more question. Twillo, I didn't hear from you all night, Don. I will try to accommodate. I like to accommodate everybody. That's consolidating and that's bullish. Back and then up. That's what I see for that. That's not bad. It's just consolidating right there. And if we put the quad lines in, it's not in quadrant 4. Again, I like them when they stay up in quadrant 4. Okay. I wouldn't short that. That's still bullish. You're right on top of minor support. You got earnings coming out in a week. Just be careful with that. I don't know if I'd short that. That's bullish. That's a rise up. You got some consolidation. It's really sloppy consolidation. But you're right on minor support right here. See that? See the tops of these wicks up there? You're right on top of it. You made a lower high. Maybe you make a lower low. But you also made a double bottom higher low. So that'd be a no for me on that one. SCHW, Schwab. Schwab pulled back. Looks like a midpoint pullback there. Yeah. You can see it went up, came back to the midpoint. It's testing it again. No, I'm not a fan of shorting that. That's a bullish move up, but back to the midpoint. Just not a fan in this bullish market right now of taking shorts. They'd have to be incredibly weak. I would want something, Don, that is in quadrant 1 or quadrant 2 showing me weakness, like CELH. See, that was like kind of showing me weakness at one time, and now it's not. See, when this was down here and consolidating right through here, like that, that's when I like to play it, when it's down there like that. In quadrant 1, moving from quadrant 2 into quadrant 1, that's when I like to play those. But you can see that this has been hanging out here quite some time, and they're coming up on earnings. Last one, Harmony. Yeah, so neither one of those are short for me, Don. Try to find something a little bit weaker. All right, if you're looking for something weaker, let me see what I can provide for you if you want something weaker. Take a snapshot of this. All right, see these right here? UPS, FDX. Take a snapshot of those. See these 5 bears? Look at something like that that's showing you some weakness. Any of those right there. Can you snap a shot of those? And thanks T, thanks Carol, thanks Starley, thanks Tony, thanks Tex. Aaron, next week, probably around the 21st or 22nd. Mel, thanks for your answers. Mel, absolutely, Mel. And Trader X wants to look at Harmony. HRMY. Did I get it right? Yeah. Yeah, that's another one. Trader X, you got to tell me the secret. How you finding all this? Nice consolidation in quadrant 4, like that. Carrie, when you see consolidation, okay, let's just take this consolidation here. All right. See all the wicks that stick up in the sky? Okay, that's minor support. Okay, that would be minor support. So when price comes back to the wicks, all right, up top here, and then bounces off, that's bullish. Okay, now if we break through major support, that's all the tails at the bottom. See all the tails? You got a candle that goes down and comes back up to the middle. Okay, those are the tails at the bottom. That's the major support. Okay, so minor support is the wicks at the top. And same thing goes for resistance, okay? All right, if you're underneath it, this would be minor resistance. All right, if you pass through minor resistance and you got through major resistance, okay, you're breaking out to new highs, right? Okay, so support and resistance. Minor support is on top. Major is just underneath the consolidation. Yeah, good word, Trader X. Just look at it to see what it's showing. But that's a nice chart there. What are you saying, FDX? Yeah, FDX is a little bullish kicker there, but it's still underneath the 17. Closed inside the trap today. Still consolidating in a bear flag down there. Earnings aren't for a little while. It's showing some bearish activity there right now. And they've lost over, 51% of this. And if you look at it on the quad lines from the top to the bottom, you are consolidating in quadrant 1. UPS, I'm not sure. All right. Chris, does that help you? Chris and Carrie, did you catch that on the support? Yeah. All right. All right, traders, that's it. Have a great night. If you want more, come get a trial. I will answer more questions. Come get a trial or look for me in a couple weeks. We're going to have an open house. All right. Thank you. Can I share my YouTube link? Yeah. Seal, just ask me in the room. I'll get it for you. All right. I'll do it one more time if I can. See if I can find it for you. Just a second. It's coming. Okay, here's my page right there. All right, today is June. There's me talking right there. Okay. There's my link, and it's right here. And I'm going to get my Facebook too. Okay, here's the Facebook. All right, here's my Facebook right there. That's what it looks like. Okay. Come get a membership. And I share my videos in here. See that? Talk. And I'll put that in there for you as well. All right, traders, that's it. Everybody have a wonderful night. All right, thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for participating.